Welcome to WCCO Television's special live coverage of the St. Paul Winter Carnival, Wintertainment 85. Brought to you by the many fine products of General Mills. And by Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy. And by Share Senior Care, Minnesota's most experienced HMO health plan for seniors. And by Copy Duplicating Products. CDP means office automation. And by the Jamaica Tourists Board, who invite you to make it Jamaica again. Now to our parade location at Rice Park.
Welcome to the 99th edition of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Grand Day Parade. I'm Boreas Rex, the 49th, John Fisher.
Hello, I'm Queen of the Snows, Tori Holman. Welcome to Wintertainment 1985. And now to our hosts, Bill Carlson and Pat Brown.
Hey, that's us.
That's us. We're on. We've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Well, there are lots of folks out here who are enjoying the day. It is a little chilly, but there is a warmth in the air at the same time. And as you can hear those sirens, the parade's just around the corner from us right now.
They sure are. We're going to bring you all the spirit and energy of this parade coming up. But right now, Dale Dobish is up in the sky. Let's see what he can see. Dale?
All right, Pat and Bill, good afternoon to both of you, and welcome everybody to the Grand Day Parade and other activities. Other activities, Pat, we've got going right now a 26-mile marathon race, being the Torturous 26 being run. Also, there's a half marathon. Right now, we're looking at the lead runner on the Wheelock Parkway, just getting ready to cross 35E westbound. They'll go over towards Lake Como, turn around, and head right back for downtown St. Paul, and be coming back into your location. Right now, we do not have the leader's name. You can see him there about 100 yards behind that blue van. There you can see him now, but as you said, they're just crossing 35E. They're a little bit better than halfway, so pretty good time going right now for the leader. So we'll toss it back to you and keep an eye on this and some other activities that are running around or happening around the St. Paul area.
Okay, Dale, thank you. That marathon began here just about, well, let's see, it was about 45 minutes ago right now. And Ralph John Fritz was on hand to kind of give us a look at how things were starting there.
About 2.5 hours from right now. So we're just about set, and here they go, about 14 or 1,500 runners. And they're off. So the 4th annual Torturous 26 in St. Paul at the Winter Carnival is underway. And as we said, in about 2.5 hours, we'll have the finish of the 26-mile. And for now, we'll throw it back to you, Bill.
We're going to have the finish, and we will have a finisher if they are still
if they
upright.
Make it.
Yes. The Torturous 26, a more apt description I cannot imagine. The slightly less torturous 13, and over half of the runners chose to go the whole way, the whole 26. So that's
Bill, that really takes guts. You've got to love running to do that.
And there were people of all ages, and there was also a wheelchair racer here today, and he's going to go the whole way too.
Well, we'll have the finish and see who the winner is. Everybody's bundled up here today. We have the first units that will be rounding the corner here on Rice Park in just a moment. It's a lovely scene, isn't it?
It is, and of course the addition of the Ordway Music Theater this year has completed the all 4 sides of this park. With it makes for a beautiful center of activities for downtown St. Paul, and of course it is kind of getting its inauguration in that role here for the St. Paul Winter Carnival. Rice Park, incidentally, for those shots that you see behind the people over there, is the center of an ice sculpture contest right now, and there are all kinds of forms being made out of big blocks of ice, and as a result, people came down quite early for the parade, even early for the marathon, and took a good look at all of that ice sculpting going on there.
Yeah, people have been out here waiting for quite a while, like you said. Real troopers, but I think it'll be worth it when we see the parade today.
We do have several candidates for Queen, and of course the Queen of the Snows has already been chosen, but we did want you to meet all of the candidates in any case. Let's meet the first of them now.
Hello, my name is Denise Dressler, and I'm sponsored by the Pain Arcade Business Association.
Hello, my name is Peggy Norton, and I'm sponsored by Apache Plaza Merchants Association.
Hi, my name is Jolene Reinhardt, and I'm sponsored by the 3M Company.
Hello, I'm I'm Tamara Simons, and I'm sponsored by Midwest Sign and Screen Printing Supply.
Hello, I'm Tori Holman, and I'm sponsored by the Prom Catering Company.
And those were some of the young ladies who were competing for Queen of the Snows. We'll see who won that in just a moment. She'll be coming down the parade route.
Okay, that's a change this year for the Winter Carnival, because we have always had the Winter Carnival Queen, of course, who reigned throughout the entire, who was crowned about midweek and then reigned through the remainder of the Winter Carnival and through the opening parade. This year, they crowned the King and the Queen the same night.
As we mentioned, this is the 99th year for the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, and as always, the parade is being led off by the St. Paul Police Escorts.
That building you see behind the beginning of the parade, that gray building there is the St. Paul Public Library, which is fronts one of the four sides of Rice Park here. If you hear us pausing, it's because it's a little bit difficult with all these sirens to hear even yourself think.
I think they're trying to outdo each other, Bill, but right behind the St. Paul Police Escorts, you can see coming up there the Ramsey County Sheriff's Department.
There is no longer any doubt the parade has started. All of that sound coming from these emergency vehicles, as you can see, that youngster gets the feeling to you. There does seem to be a very good crowd out today, and an unusual number of youngsters. Of course, the Winter Carnival Parade is always a prime spot for youngsters, but today there just seems to be, I guess with the forecast of about 20 degrees above zero, everybody bundled up and thought, well, this is just warm enough for us to make it. So
that's right.
If we take care, we'll be able to do that. Right now, we're going to let you meet another couple of those queens, and then the parade is going to be here as soon as we get back.
Hi, my name is Sandy Roberto. I'm being sponsored by McCullough, Dyer & Smith Attorneys at Law.
Hello, my name is Camille Hagan. I'm sponsored by the Rice Street Festival.
Hello, I'm Tina Bullock, and I'm being sponsored by Sunstone Products.
Hi, my name is Kim Giffel, and I am sponsored by J.F. O'Neill and Associates Incorporated.
Hi, I'm Vicki Smith, and I'm sponsored by Gopher Sign Company.
Coverage of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade. You're looking at our banner carriers this year. They are the St. Paul Campfire Boys and Girls, age kindergarten through 12th grade, followed there by the American Legion Massed Colors.
That's the 4th District American Legion. 100 Legionnaires, nearly 100, from the Twin Cities and surrounding towns are carrying flags. You can see the Honor Guard in front, and then right behind them, the massed colors. All carrying flags. This is the 5th year they've led the Grand Day Parade. Marching in the middle is a lone flag bearer carrying a missing in action prisoner of war flag. You will see that coming around the corner in just a few moments. His separation from the rest of the color guard is to symbolize the plight of the missing in action and the prisoners of war. A matter that still is receiving a great deal of attention and, of course, should.
Absolutely. Gives me goosebumps just seeing all these American flags go by. I love the turn that Americans have made toward patriotism, and I think it's being reflected here today.
Here now you will see, just in the center of the flags, is the POW MIA flag. The American Legion Post 290 color guard from Cambridge, Minnesota, is right behind them.
With Commander Clark Swanson.
And still the sirens continue. That, of course, is to warn everybody to step back, step off the street, because indeed the parade is here. There's the POW MIA flag. Those organizations, of course, still working with great strength and great perseverance to be sure that the POWs, MIAs are not forgotten. Well, let's go upstairs once again and see how Dale Dobish, what kind of a view he has. Dale?
All right, Bill, right now we're up in the Lake Phelan area, and a lot of activity going on up here, and a little bit quieter, too. Don't have quite as many sirens. However, a little bit later here this afternoon, they're going to start the qualifying laps for the car racing on ice. The professional and amateur drivers are going to race along a twisted track you can see here on Lake Phelan, Bill, on the ice. And believe it or not, they hit speeds of up to 100 miles an hour on the ice. Should be real interesting qualifying laps or qualifying heats this afternoon, and then tomorrow is a regular race. Also, if you look way over there in Johnson Parkway, you can see the marathoners still moving along. We still have no word on the leader's name yet, but we'll get that for you and pass it along as quick as we can. But that's the kind of the quarter point way there. The 13-mile marathoners are turning back, heading for back downtown, and the other ones, of course, are continuing over towards Lake Como. So we'll keep an eye on things out here and get back to you just a little bit later.
And as we return to the parade, right in front of us is the Grand Marshal, a native St. Paulite himself, world-renowned painter and artist, Leroy Neiman.
Character. I had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier. He tells me he goes nowhere without his artistic tablet so that he can put down on paper his impressions of whatever he happens to be seeing.
They're wonderful impressions and very valuable indeed. And of course, he has developed quite a name for himself as a sports artist, among other things. Right now, let's see that conversation briefly with Leroy Neiman.
Well, I think the magnitude is unbelievable. You know, the tradition and the costuming and the genuine quality is what impresses me. I was here as a kid, remember, so I know the town, and the carnival holds up.
Do you go anywhere without your sketch pad?
Never, because the things that excite me I can draw, but then also when I'm bored I can draw. Remember, there's a lot of dinner parties and stuff. I just sit back and sketch my fellow guests.
Passing by us, the U.S. Air Force Academy Band, 44 members strong, from Colorado Springs, of course, directed by Colonel McCord. The drum major is Tech Sergeant Carl Steers. And behind them, we have the Air Force Reserve float.
That's right. This 30-foot float carries members of the U.S. Air Force reserves from the 934th Tactical Airlift Group. Now, as you can see, the float depicts 3 C-130A aircraft flying global missions in support of national defense. There they are.
They are right up front. A theme award winner, right? Coming up next. This is still the Air Force. You can see those C-130s up front there.
Here we go.
King Boreas Guard is following this banner. They are surrounding the float, and of course for good reason.
It's the Norwest St. Paul float, winner of the theme award, as Bill said. And riding on this float, made by members of the Norwest Employees Club, is the new royalty of the 1985 Winter Carnival, Boreas Rex the 49th, John Fisher, and Queen of the Snows, Tori Holman.
Also is Prime Minister Gordon Goochman is aboard the float as well. And of course, as you can see, Landmark Center is a very prominent part of that float. The back portion of the float right behind them there with the orange roof on.
The scene also depicts the Norman Rockwell snow theme, which is featured on this year's Winter Carnival button.
Here you see the Prince of the South Wind, Notos. His name is James Torinskis. He's an attorney from South St. Paul. There's a whole family of folk there having a good time.
Oh, and here comes the North Wind, Titan. That's the name of the mythical North Wind. He's Don Hewitt, owner of the North End Depot, an eatery on Rice Street in St. Paul. Riding the old stagecoach. Escorting the 1985 Prince of the North Wind are the former North Winds.
Now in front of us is Donald Hunt. And his princess. Everyone with an ever-present horn to be sure no one goes unnoticed. I think there's probably little danger of that, however. The float you see here, Titan Prince of the North Wind, it's another additional float with many gunshots being fired from aboard it. We're going to go upstairs once again. Dale, a lot of excitement down here. How do things look from up there?
Well, Bill, we've got a little bit different view of what you've got, but right now we're right over the top of your booth looking at Rice Park, Landmark Center there, and of course you can see the booth where you are there at the New Ordway Theater. But a real large crowd on all the streets where the parade is running. The parade is getting formed up there in 7th, and things moving along quite well. Really surprised at the number of people out on an 8-degree day to watch the parade, but a real good turnout, Bill. We'll as before, kind of keep an eye on things. If we see something really nice from this viewpoint, we'll get back to you, and we'll talk to you a little bit later.
Dale, I'd say you have the best seat in the whole house. Right now, we're looking at the West Wind. He's a staunch supporter, of course, of the new king, according to Carnival legend. In real life, he's Ron Larson from White Bear Lake.
This isn't real life? Yes, this
well,
is
now,
real.
Bill, we don't want to destroy any fantasies, but he owns several Mr. Steak restaurants in St. Paul. And getting a bang, literally, out of the new Prince of the West Wind are former West Winds of the Carnival.
There is a distinct smell of gun smoke in the air here.
What'd you say, Bill?
Oh, my. There is... The next official Winter Carnival car has the Prince of the East Wind aboard. And that would be Dr. Steve Shoemaker, who is president of the Shoemaker Chiropractic Clinic on Payne Avenue. The East Wind organization follows him, but then there is a South Wind Award banner. I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's all right, because the Payne Arcade Harvest Festival float is coming right behind it.
That's true. In fact, these next two units represent the great east side of St. Paul, which has long been active in carnival activities. When we come back, we'll tell you more about the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade right after this.
I see you enjoy the finer things in life.
Why, yes.
Then you'll enjoy today's Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport.
Come on in, get the feel, enjoyment waits at the wheel as the road comes alive.
Special sport suspension, Euro styling, available new multi-port fuel-injected V6 power, Celebrity Eurosport.
If this is today's Chevrolet,
Enjoy. Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
You can't tempt her, Tommy, with the taste of nuts and honey. She's a stubborn one.
Honey Nut Cheerios blends crunchy nuts and tasty golden honey.
Nuts and honey?
It's gonna tempt your tummy with the taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey oven. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's honey nutty good.
Honey Nut Cheerios, part of this good, nutritious breakfast.
I really like it.
It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
If you have the dubious honor of telling your boss the copier's broken, and you'd do anything to avoid facing him,
Copier is broken.
tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Advanced electronics help prevent breakdowns. The magnified toning process makes great copies. Great enlargements, great reductions, too. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Passing before us now are several former kings and guards and members of the royal court of previous winter carnivals. They are not to be left out. They're going to continue to participate, and that's generally true of the entire Winter Carnival organization.
I believe here in this beautiful coach we have the Carnival Senior Royalty, if I'm not mistaken.
Patrick O'Neill.
Oh, chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board of the St. Paul Winter Carnival. They are some of the people who work so hard all year long to be sure that this celebration every winter takes place. And, of course, throughout the year also visit other celebrations around the state and, indeed, around the nation. Quite a quite a large network kind of effect takes place as these people who are working, for the most part, free of charge on their community festivals around the country get together. We do have a few more former kings here. Here's Fred Soderberg, who was King Boreas the 24th,
Is that a 1960 car, Bill?
I don't know. I was just trying to add that up. It's a beauty, isn't it? And
It
in
sure is
wonderful
nice.
condition, yeah. Then we have George Ruttman from 1966. I know that's not a 1966 car. You know, for many years, now we're seeing convertibles made once again, but for many years, parades had a real difficult problem in trying to get together enough convertibles because, of course, for several years, convertibles just weren't being manufactured.
Here's John Donahue, 1969. King Boreas the 33rd. I guess once you're part of the Winter Carnival, you always are. One big family.
That's right. Here's Bill Hite coming from 1970. Not only are they one big family, but they really do dedicate a portion of their life to seeing that the community enjoys themselves not only during the Winter Carnival, but around the year-round as well. And usually when you find people, here's Al Mueller, for example, you find people who are involved in events like this, you'll find they're involved also in many other aspects of community life. Royce V, 1974. Let's see who we have here. Marv Ellison, 1977. His outfit is a little different, isn't it?
Sounds like they have their fan clubs here, too, Bill.
Right.
Maybe they're just trying to keep warm, too.
And remember, we are in the midst of the 99th. There's Dan Dolan. He was King Boreas in 78. We're in the midst of the 99th Winter Carnival, which can only make you wonder what kind of a celebration we're going to experience for the 100th.
It will be grand, that's for sure.
I was out at the Rose Bowl parade this year, and they were bragging about the 96th Rose Bowl.
Oh, well, we got them beat, don't we?
Got them beat by a couple of years.
Yeah. I've heard talk about some of the major networks perhaps covering the event next year.
Here's Dick Schock, who in 1981 was King Boreas, and his Queen of the Snow is riding with him. And then that's followed by Vic Rhyme from 1982.
There's Charlie Hall, 1983. Everybody with their earmuffs on, trying to keep warm.
I don't recall them doing it quite this way before. We've had previous kings, but this is perhaps a little more organized than I've seen it before. And it's a nice effect. You can see even the Royal Guard is still around. Don Larson from 84. He still has his loyal folks with him. Of course, I did see Vulcan around here a little while ago, so I suppose it is reasonable to beware. Senior royalty is riding aboard this beautiful carriage. It is a gorgeous one, isn't it?
Elegant six-passenger opera coach, they call it.
And the whole royal court is very cozy inside there.
Here's the women's division of the Winter Carnival. They're also a volunteer support group, and they sponsor many events. Again, this year, including the annual Sleigh and Cutter Festival in Como Park. That's tomorrow, if you'd like to take that in.
I don't believe they'll be using that boat, however, except as a vehicle in the parade.
It wouldn't quite work. They provide chaperones for the princesses and a queen mother for the Queen of Snows. In addition to sponsoring an annual luncheon and style show just before the carnival, they also do volunteer work for the Courage Center in Golden Valley.
Look at all those beautiful maple leaf flags from our neighbor to the north, Canada, the Festival du Voyageur from Manitoba. And that takes place in just a couple of weeks, February 17th to 24th.
The theme for the Aquatennial this year, I don't know if it's time to be talking about Aquatennial, but it will be Hail Canada. So we can see that they're celebrating both festivals here in the Twin Cities this year.
Those are fascinating costumes, aren't they?
They look warm, that's for sure.
Raymond Bisson, incidentally, is president of the Festival du Voyageur. Helen Martin, the manager of the festival carnival office.
Of course, we can't leave out the city of Winnipeg.
We've always had a very, very good relationship between both of the Twin Cities and the city of Winnipeg. They've always exchanged representatives not only at festival time, but for all kinds of special occasions.
This is the Court Chamberlain Award. Very colorful float this year, bright pink, trying to get everybody to come up to Winnipeg and vacation. Canada's Vacation Center. Now, coming up around the corner is a band that's been in the media for a little bit. They went out to Washington, D.C. to march in the inaugural parade. As you probably remember, it got a little too cold in our nation's capital. They could not march, and they were on all the network news. Quite disappointed, but here they are marching for us today, the Princeton Marching Tigers.
They're quite a group as they come around the corner. Their color guard in advance. They've done very, very well this year. This past year has been a wonderful one for them, and there's lots of things to talk about. But you know, Pat, I think maybe since they are so near and since that sound is something we're just waiting for, why don't we listen for a few moments first? Did a wonderful job, raised a lot of money, went to Washington. At least they got to see the president. Now we're going to check on the status of the marathon with Ralph John Fritz.
Bill, we are at the finish line, or a short distance from the finish line, and just moments ago, the winner of the Torturous 13 crossed the line. And I didn't see a number, but it appeared from the back that it was Lindsey Brown, who was the defending champion from Stillwater. And we momentarily hope to have Lindsey with us if he indeed is the winner. The time, I didn't catch that officially, but it was around an hour and 9 minutes. So momentarily we should have the winner of the Torturous 13-mile, and then a little later the 26-mile winner for you.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. We have a big 6-horse hitch moving right in front of us right now. The August Shell Brewery wagon.
Of course, from New Ulm, with its famous German festival. You know, this beer wagon dates back to the 1880s and was actually used to deliver beer. Those are our authentic wooden barrels that you can see there. They're handmade of 2-inch oak. They were taken out of service back in the 1930s.
The barrels, that is, not the wagon.
Yeah.
St. Paul Winter Carnival Junior Royalty Program, which is a function of the St. Paul Division of Parks and Recreation, And the junior royalty is, once again, does have a very complete organization, gives youngsters a great opportunity to participate in the entire festival, and they do have a miniature, well-supervised version of the same structure, the same mythology and everything else.
That's right. In fact, this float that you're looking at features a replica of the 1985 Winter Carnival button. We should mention some names here. The king of the junior royalty is Jeremy Christensen. The queen is Beth Lampert. We have Prime Minister Mike McGinn and the lady-in-waiting, Tracy Sokalski. Oh, there's just a whole bunch of wonderful folks out there. Look like they're having a great time. And of course, we can't have a parade without some dancing. This is the Queen's Court dance line, 55 members strong, and they're directed by 2 former Miss Minnesotas.
Those Miss Minnesotas are Charlotte Sims-Oline and Mary Williams-Jasicki, both of whom you probably do remember because they have been involved in efforts such as this for quite some time. And, of course, they were very high visibility folks for the period of their reign. John is back at the end of that torturous 26, but the torturous 13 is what we're here to talk about, right, Ralph?
Right, Bill. This is the end of the 13-mile race, and we were right. It was Lindsey Brown, the defending champion now, and, well, it's getting to be a habit, Lindsey.
Well, I thought I'd come out another time. Something different, you know. Normally don't get into a race like this in the middle of winter, and something to get you going, get you remotivated for the coming season.
That's what everyone is saying. How tough was it out there? You look a little cold.
I'm cold and tired, yeah. It's a rough course. It's a little deceiving. You think on the way back it's going to be all downhill, and there are quite a few uphills and some gradual ones that...
You know what I'm surprised at is you aren't even breathing hard. I walked over here a couple of blocks, and it was tougher on me, I think, than it was you. Is there any reason you aren't in the 26, Lindsey?
Well, I really haven't done... This is the longest run I've done in maybe 3-4 months, so... I didn't really have myself prepared for anything like that yet.
I didn't catch the time. It looked like an hour and 9, somewhere around there. Did you catch the correct time?
9:23, I think, was the...
You got to be happy with that, huh?
I'm more than pleased. I thought 1:10, anywhere around there would be good, and a little under, so I'm happy.
Well, we're happy for you, and of course, Bill and Pat, we're always happy when it's a friend that wins, and Lindsey is a good friend of the Fritz family, and your brother Tim told me to tell you that he taught you everything you know about marathon running.
He's taught me a lot. I don't know, he's only been involved in it a couple of years, and I think he knows more than I do.
Okay, well, Lindsey, congratulations again, and we'll let you get inside and warm up a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay, Lindsey Brown of Stillwater, Minnesota, the official winner of the torturous 13, and a bit later we'll be talking with the winner of the 26-mile marathon. Bill and Pat?
Ralph, John, Lindsey doesn't look like the warmest person at this entire parade at this moment. I'm sure he's happy it's past. Here's La Société Canadienne Française, a French-Canadian group. How did I figure that out? I can't
You're
imagine.
too smart, Bill. I'll tell you, as we take a look at them, we're going to take a commercial break, but we're just getting underway, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Okay, Jerry, recognize this?
You're Jerry.
What?
The one that gets covered in cotton when he says soft and pretty is cottony soft.
No. That's my twin brother.
It's you, Jerry. Come on. How does soft and pretty feel? Go on. Say cottony soft.
Well, I suppose nothing can happen here, right? Soft and pretty is cottony soft.
Soft and pretty is cottony soft.
Norelco Rotatran, the shaving machine that challenges the world. Every blade, every electric, in closeness, comfort, speed, and performance. Only Norelco holds a charge up to 3 times longer than any leading razor. Only Norelco packs 3 floating heads with a patented twin-action shaving system. Get it. And like it. Or get your money back. Norelco guarantees close shaves on high-technology women's razors, too. Remember, only a Norelco performs like a Norelco.
The Wendy's Hot Stuffed Baked Potato-Thon sale is on. Wendy's just bought truckloads of the best potatoes grown in America, which means incredible deals for you. On the hottest thing in America, Wendy's Hot Stuffed Baked Potatoes. Stuffed with broccoli and cheese, chili and cheese, sour cream and chives, and other great toppings. So get in on Wendy's Hot Stuffed Baked Potato-Thon sale, while there's still enough to go around.
Now at Wendy's, any hot stuffed baked potato in a thick, juicy Wendy's single for just $2.49.
Hi, Doll. Easy for typing that report. Again.
Miss Smith, please type in one itsy bitsy change, please.
No matter what type of boss you have, with a Panasonic 708 electronic typewriter, you won't have to retype. Its 8K memory stores what you've typed. Type in the corrections, and it does the retyping for you. So when your boss requests the word,
Where's that? Letter?
Thank you.
it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
You are looking at the Brady High School Band from West St. Paul, 70 members strong, just resplendent in their corps-style uniforms with a Western flair. You know, last year they tied for 4th place here at the Winter Carnival Band Competition, and this summer they took 2nd place in the National VFW Parade in Chicago.
The Brady High School Band. Let's pause and listen. Little Miss White Eyes of 1985 there. And aboard this float, a special kind of hay wagon float, our friends from WCCO Radio. I'm sure you can recognize many of them. Saying hello to us, right up front there is Chuck Lilligren, Farm Director of WCCO. Howard Biken right behind him. Howard has that fur cap. Oh, Howard. And there's, let's see, who else is aboard? Tim Russell, Ruth Kozlak, Sherry Ackerman, David Hopp, Danny Long, Mike Lynch, Tim Moreland, in addition to the couple that we pointed out. They're having a good time today.
Part of our Midwest Communications family.
Right behind them, the St. Paul Clown Club. Long-time organization. They have been making people laugh for 40 years now.
That's a lot of smiles.
And boy, are their sides tired.
Their sponsor is the Roseville Knights of Columbus, and Bill Fryermuth is their current president.
That fella has a fly swatter. I don't think there's going to be a great deal of use for that out here along the parade route today, but there's no problem with being prepared, I guess. That guy had a punk haircut before it was in fashion. And of course, the Clown Club works round the year, entertaining in hospitals and senior citizens' homes, places of that nature. And they're very, very active group.
Here's the Northland Ford dealers float. On that float is the Bismarck Folk Fest Queen, the Memphis Cotton Carnival Queen, the Aberdeen Snow Queen. Oh my gosh, shall we name them all?
Also some former Vulcans I see who are on the float, although they are supposed to be on the vehicle behind.
They're everywhere.
They are. Let's see if even Dale Dobish can see them from high above.
All right, Bill, right now we came over to the state capitol grounds here, and you can see a couple of activities going on here. One is a relatively new form of entertainment. It's called a dog sled pull, and until about 2:30 this afternoon, the dog sled pull will be taking place here at the state capitol grounds. There are a variety of dogs, and they've got this sled, and they have to pull it across a 16-foot course. It's been going on since about noon. Also, another activity going on over here, kind of noticed. It appears to be an ice playground, Bill. A lot of people with their kids on some ice sculptures made into slides and various forms of things for the kids to play on. Looks like they're having a wonderful time down there, just sliding down some of that stuff. A little too cold for my blood, but perhaps they seem to be enjoying it. But just a couple more activities going on here during the Winter Carnival.
Okay, we are back on the ground. Dale, we couldn't hear you on that last report, but we did see some rather spectacular pictures there. River's Edge bus, half a bus actually, just passing us by there. The Wizard of Oz gang there. Little Miss Payne Arcade is the next float you're seeing approaching us.
The girls range in age, Bill, from 4 to 6, and are chosen as part of the Payne Arcade Harvest Festival in St. Paul each September. Now, the queen there, you see her looking resplendent in her beautiful fur hat, is Alyssa Testa, and her princesses are Carissa Staffke, Jackie Schutz, Anna Marie Copy, and Jenny Polanski.
I think they have mechanized arms waving for them.
And dreams someday of growing up to be the Queen of the Snows, no doubt.
And those youngsters along the side dreaming of growing up to be Little Miss Payne Arcade.
Or dreaming of a nice warm fire.
The area here, of course, since the parade does pass around 3 sides of Rice Park, it obviously would be jammed with people, but it certainly is just that. But we hear some more more bands coming down the way, and before they get to us, we're going to introduce you to a few more Queen candidates.
Hi, my name is Linda Seidenkrantz, and I'm being sponsored by the Woodbury JCs.
Hi, my name is Sandy Tuda. My sponsor is the West End Business and Professional Association.
Hi, I'm Katie Johnson, and I'm being sponsored by Bob Carter Ford Incorporated.
Hello, my name is Lisa Olson, and I'm being sponsored by Health Resources Incorporated.
Hi, my name is Diane Kirst, and my sponsor is Whitefair Avenue Business Association.
And here we are back with our friends from the Osmond Shrine Temple. The Osmond Temple of St. Paul was founded 99 years ago, and its units, as you're about to see, comprise almost a full division of the Winter Carnival Parade. You know, Bill, you probably believe this. They've participated in every Winter Carnival Parade and its activities since the late 40s.
Actually, the Osmond Temple itself is the same age as the Winter Carnival, 99 years old. Obviously, they're going to perform for us right now, right in front of our cameras, so let's listen. Prominent St. Paul businessmen, members of the Shrine organization, the band, and many of the other units, and now you're going to see a number of units, right, Pat?
Oh, we see so many that sometimes I get them mixed up, to be quite honest with
Right.
you, Bill.
We'll do our best to keep track of which is which, but you will forgive us if we turn them around a little bit, because there are many of them, and they all not only occupy a different spot in this parade, but all have different special activities that they participate in throughout the year.
I'll tell you one thing, they all look awfully snappy.
The Osmond Patrol Unit is the oldest unit in the temple. It was organized in 1908. They're also the founders of the Black Light Patrol and have been at performed many times at prior winter carnivals in the Roy Wilkins Auditorium. They call this the Harmony Wagon.
The Harmony Wagon. I can see why. If we listen, you can hear it.
Oh, yes. This is a vehicle operated by the Osmond Merry Medics, which is a group of clowns, believe it or not, even though they operate out of a hearse.
They take time out to entertain patients, especially children, at area hospitals. And if you could see beneath their makeup, believe it or not, you'd see many prominent businessmen. I wonder who that is.
Hot chocolate. Here you go. Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate, did that man say?
That sounds good to me.
Here you go. We'll see ya.
They're making friends all along the line. And of course, each clown, as clowns always do, is responsible for putting together their own routine, their own stick, as they say in the business.
Hi, Polly. How you doing?
And it's interesting, if you've known these clowns over the years, it's interesting to see how their makeup changes and is refined, both for the sake of making it look better and for the sake of making it easier to put on. No, we're not cold. We were just asked by one of the clown members.
Oh, one of the clowns is right up here at our booth, and
now we're going from downstairs. We'll go upstairs. Dale, how's it look from there?
Oh, all right, Bill. Looking real good from up here. Can tell you that you have a lot of Shriners coming at you here. Just noticed a group of them. You can see them in the yellow down there. About 4 blocks worth of them, in fact. I'm not sure who it is. I'm sure you've got things on that, but you can see them just turning the corner there on, I guess, probably Minnesota Street, heading down 4th towards you. They were still about 5 blocks away, but you've got them coming. Also, you can look back there and see the massive crowds and a whole lot of parade left to come to you. So we'll get it back to you and give you another aerial view here in just a few minutes.
thanks, Dale. You know, again, we can't hear what Dale's saying, having a little technical difficulty down here, but from his view, you can see what a large group these Shriners make up in the Winter Carnival Parade.
This group reminds us that the Shriners, traditionally around the country, and certainly here the Osmond Shriners in St. Paul, are sponsors of circuses, which, of course, raise money for many of the fine efforts that the Shriners are involved in.
For example, they own and operate 18 orthopedic hospitals and 3 burn institutes, and one of their hospitals is located right here in St. Paul.
Right in front of us here is the Sons of Norway float. Legends of trolls have been told in Norway for centuries. They've recreated those legends in this Sons of Norway family of trolls float. You see a couple of them from place to place, and you also see the Sons of Norway Queen Julie Malin. There are several other princesses and so forth from several other places. And that float, the Sons of Norway. Now, we are going to be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Come back to Jamaica.
Come run on a ribbon of white sand.
What's old is what's new.
Come ride our gentle trade winds.
We want you to join us.
Come daydream in a private cove.
We made it for you.
Come share the incomparable variety that brought Noel Coward home to Jamaica year after year. Come, make it Jamaica again and again.
Make it Jamaica, Jamaica again.
Looks like you're into winning.
You bet.
Then today Chevrolet has a car for you, Cavalier.
Come on in, and you'll know. Turn it on, let it go. It's at your command.
2 liters of electronically fuel-injected power, front drive agility, and optional sports suspension. Cavalier. Grab one.
If this is today's Chevrolet, it's a winner.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
More morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Ooh, will you look at that?
In more ways than one, you lead me on. You sweet talker, Betty Crocker.
Yeah, you know my weakness.
I can't resist.
Mm-mm.
You leave me breathless.
You did it again.
With more than one way to my heart. You sweet talker, sweet talker, sweet talker, Betty Crocker.
Bill, will you look at this? This is the Scandinavian design float. From St. Paul's Twin City across the river comes the Minneapolis Aquatennial Association float. Is that beautiful?
Riding the float is Lori Grote, Queen of the Lakes. Her princesses Janet Chotzko and Brenda Schuler. The whole Aquatennial is represented here. And of course, the Aquatennial Winter Carnival always have worked hand in glove, a very, very friendly form of competition between them. And I think the emphasis over the last several years has been even more and more on the friendly than it has been on the competition.
That's right. Also on board, you'll see our General Festival Chairman, John Wetzel, the Aquatennial President, Stan Tabor, and Commodore Daniel May.
Right now we're going to check on the marathon. Ralph John Fritz is standing by there.
Well, Bill, we're checking with some of the finishers in the Torturous 13, and this young man's name is?
Bob Moosel.
Bob, you're from where?
Menominee, Wisconsin.
And Bob, we could just tell by the beard, you can tell at home if our cameraman Jim Rommel could get in a little tighter there. Look at the icicles hanging. It has to be cold out there, doesn't it?
Oh, no, it feels pretty good.
Feels pretty good. Yeah, you look like you feel pretty good.
Oh, I sweat a lot, so I work outside in the cold weather, so it doesn't bother me much.
What do you do, Bob?
I work on a bridge crew on the Sioux Line Railroad.
How many races have you been in?
Oh, this is the first one in a couple months, but I get it during the summer, usually one every weekend.
I noticed a few of the runners are coming across the finish line. They're sputtering quite a bit and breathing like there's no tomorrow. You look like you're in real good shape.
Oh, I get on a few miles a week.
Okay, we're back at the site at the Ordway Music Theater site, and we are meeting the Baldwin Woodville High School band, 86-piece band, and they are head-on. You can't see them, but just off to the left of your picture there is Vulcan's fire truck, which is trying to go the wrong way in our parade.
There they are.
Meeting them head-to-head. Oh, those Vulcans. They're troublemakers all down the line, aren't they?
They're not stopping the Baldwin Woodville High School Band, however. This is their 13th consecutive appearance at this Winter Carnival, longer than any other band from our neighboring state of Wisconsin.
Yes, the Baldwin Woodville Band. They are enjoying the parade, as are we, and we'll be back with another float, but first we're going to meet some of the young ladies who are riding on those floats.
Hi, my name's Kim Gilbert, and I'm being sponsored by the St. Paul Hotel.
Hello, my name is Terry DeBase, and I'm being sponsored by Cub Foods.
Hi, I'm Bonnie Avalessi, and I'm being sponsored by Buttonworks.
Hi, my name is
is Carolyn Horstall, and my sponsor is Omen & Company Hairstyling.
Hello, my name is Lori Keenan. I'm sponsored by South St. Paul Composure Days.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Simon. My sponsor is Shock Electronics. Now, this horse unit is sponsored by Mike's Downtown Amico on Robert Street in downtown St. Paul. It's a 3-horse hitch pulled by 3 Belgian horses.
They are beauties, aren't they?
They sure are.
There are always a number of horses in the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, and I think certainly there have been at least as many in this one as I can remember, and all with that beautiful winter coat.
Now here comes one of my favorites. This is the Shock all-electronic marching band. We've seen lots of live bands today. This one is an electronic band. Now what happens is each of the marchers has a radio, and the transmitter is broadcasting their music from the truck following the unit.
What did you say, Pat? It is a new idea, and it certainly helps in any problem that they may have in synchronization of instruments, I tell you. Let's listen to them.
Those instruments to master them.
See, that little gray truck there is the secret. It's a tiny little radio station. Not so tiny at that, but it's broadcasting that signal to all of the boats.
And here is the beautiful float from Somerset, Wisconsin. Home, of course, of the famous Apple Festival, or Apple River Float. They call it the floating capital of the world, and each year in June, they celebrate Pea Soup Days.
Yes.
Why not?
I think that's a very, very good idea, especially since they have a Pea Soup Festival. Why not celebrate at the same time? This is Miss Somerset, Janine Sawyer, aboard the float, waving energetically.
And here's the gang from K102, the FM country. What else?
With another couple of Belgians up front.
And a Conestoga-style covered wagon. Very appropriate for their station. The driver, Jim Swanson, is dressed in early pioneer garb. And who else but Klondike Kate.
Uh-huh. It's a Conestoga-style wagon. There's Klondike Kate.
Connie Kroll. She just became the new Klondike Kate on January 9th. I had a chance to talk with her earlier. Here's what she said. Of course, that's what the Winter Carnival's all about. Now, can you outdo that act? I think the best way to find out what Klondike Kate is all about is to hear you sing. Belt one out for us, will you?
Thank you. I'll beat out these chainsaws and the Vulcans here. They call her hot-hearted Hannah, the vamp of Savannah, the meanest gal in town. Talk of your cold, refrigerating mama's brother. She's the polar bear's pajamas to tease her.
Now look at this. This is the largest marching unit in the Winter Carnival Parade this year. This is the Indian Head Council Boy Scouts of America Youth Marching Corps. Now the reason that there's so many Boy Scouts here today is that they are celebrating their 75th anniversary. Quite an accomplishment.
There are 75 American flags, 1,500 marchers, all kinds of units. You can see as they pass by, they're carrying their individual flags. You might be able to identify some of them. If you can, you're a better man than I, Gunga Din, because it looks like a mass of Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and whatever, but they certainly are enjoying being the largest marching unit in the parade today. It's almost curb-to-curb Boy Scouts we have going for it.
That's what I call spirit.
Well, what they're trying to do today is thank the community for 75 years of support. And let's hear what they had to say about that very idea.
Boy Scouts are celebrating their 75th anniversary, and we've got 1,500 boys in the parade today, and the reason for their involvement in the parade is they want to say thanks to St. Paul for 75 years of support.
That's great. I know that. And we'd like to say thank you to the Boy Scouts. They perform a wonderful service for these youths growing up.
When I was a Boy Scout, I never got a yellow plastic bag to wear, I tell you.
Well, Bill, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can dig one up for you.
See if I can pick one up now.
You know, last night they were camping out, believe it or not, on the grounds of the state capitol in igloo-type houses. They mounded up the snow and hollowed it out and camped out, and they got little badges that called them Zero Heroes for surviving.
And I guess they get a special merit badge for that. As you can see, incidentally, as they pass by us, here's the live eye taking a look at activities. But each of them has a number of kind of merit ribbons on the standards that they carry. Shows the kind of special efforts that they have been involved in.
And they come, and they come, and they come. Again, 1,500 boys have come to march in the parade today.
Now, not all of these people stayed overnight in igloos.
No, we should clarify that.
But along with the youngsters who did and got their Zero Hero awards were some Twin Cities celebrities who chose to do it too. I don't know if they survived quite as well as these young people or not.
They say that in those snow shelters that they built, they call them snow domes, that the Scouts' body heat, really kept them warm, so people shouldn't, worry unnecessarily about it. And the inside temperature inside their snow domes was a comfortable 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, they're in their down sleeping bags, and they survived in good shape, as you can see.
I'm not sure that I have ever slept through a comfortable 20 degrees. But we're coming to the last of the group now. And it's the largest unit in the parade is just about to come to an end. But they are not, for a moment, that surviving in the 20-degree weather overnight didn't shut down any of the energy at all. We're going to be back at the parade with a very special guest in just a moment. But first, we're going to take a break.
Again.
Miss Smith, please type in one itsy-bitsy change, please.
No matter what type of boss you have, with a Panasonic 708 electronic typewriter, you won't have to retype. Its 8K memory stores what you've typed. Type in the corrections, and it does the retyping for you. So when your boss requests the word...
Where's that letter?
Thank you.
It's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
At NSP, we can't help you avoid that winter weather outside, but we can help you keep warm inside. With programs like home energy audits, attic insulation financing, and Budget Helper, with advice on energy savers like insulation and weather stripping. Call NSP for all the facts. We can't do away with Old Man Winter, but we can help you keep him outside, where he belongs.
Energy, NSP.
We have been joined in our broadcast booth by Meg Bennett of the CBS daytime serial, The Young and the Restless. And which are you today, Meg?
I'm young and restless. I think I'm cold and restless.
Are you? Well, Meg is from California, originally from Pasadena, but you spent some time in the Midwest, haven't you?
Yes, I did go to school in Northwestern, so I've had a taste of this. But
So this kind of weather is not a total surprise to you. Meg, welcome to join us, and she's going to help us describe what's going in front of us. Actually, right now, the Vietnam Veterans of America group from the Twin Cities Metro chapter of that group are marching in front of us. They're wearing cold weather uniforms with different branches of the service.
You know, Meg, I've got to tell you that Michael Damian was in town about 2 months ago, and we covered him for PM Magazine here. It's not hit the air yet, and we've had so many calls.
Oh, he's very popular.
Yes. Maybe you want to tell us what he's really like for those fans watching.
It's funny. He's very much like Danny Romalotti. You know, his family, as you know, is a rock group, and they perform all over the country. So it's not anything new for him to be doing this, performing on the show. But he's terrifically talented.
The Festmaster from 1984. This is the La Crosse Oktoberfest float march going in front of us right now. And then just approaching us from, you see in the distance there is the Borzoi Club.
That's right.
They're doing a very special maneuver down there. I wish they'd move down a little closer to our cameras.
These are Russian wolfhounds.
Aren't they beautiful?
They really are. And the club members are dressed in authentic Russian costumes. This club was established in 1973 with monthly business and educational meetings.
These wolfhounds look like a greyhound with a fur coat on, don't they?
Just right for St. Paul.
They are beautiful animals and very sleek and extremely fast. Rather large. 36, 40 inches, I would imagine, at the shoulder. Very tall animal.
Our next carriage rider is Mankato's Mr. and Mrs. Frosty, Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Miller. Now, the festival, which began January 19th and ends tomorrow, is sponsored by the Mankato Chamber of Commerce. It's driven by John Block, and the Surrey was manufactured in 1890. Not this Surrey, the one we just saw.
All right. Here's a celebrity marshal, Joe Kittinger. First solo balloon crossing of the Atlantic Ocean.
Isn't that remarkable?
Yes, indeed.
When did that happen, do you know?
I don't have that date, but it wasn't too long ago. La Crescent Apple Festival. La Crescent Apple Festival is something that takes place in the fall, obviously, when the apples are harvested. And it's one of the many regional festivals that contribute so much to our state of mind here in the Northwest area. I don't know. Those people don't seem to be dressed as warm as I would be.
No, they don't. Well, as the snow begins to fall here in Rice Park, we're looking at the Forest Lake Teen Clown Club. Now, they're the only nationally chartered clown club exclusively for teenagers in the United States.
Forest Lake, of course, just to the north of the Twin Cities. That's for Meg's benefit because I guess most of us here know that Forest Lake is about 30 miles or so to the north of the Twin Cities. We are getting a little bit of snow.
Yes, it's snowing here in the booth.
Yeah, right. Well, it's not snowing outside. I meant in the booth. We are getting that. It does lend, of course, to the atmosphere for which the St. Paul Winter Carnival... You know, the Winter Carnival began 99 years ago to show the folks from around the United States who thought that the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul were just maybe 20 miles outside of Nome or something. It was to show them that we have a wonderful area, that we do enjoy our winters, and that we don't simply endure them, but participate in them. And that was the reason it began, and that's what it is, why it has lasted. Look at those llamas. Aren't they wonderful? Those are Lulu's llamas. And from Lulu's llamas to Ralph John Fritz.
Okay, Bill, we're here with another one of the finishers in the Torturous 13, the half marathon. And this is Barb Krieger from
White Bear Lake.
White Bear Lake. Barbara, congratulations on finishing. We're told there's a little problem with frostbite out there.
Well, no, it wasn't bad. Cheeks got a little cold the last mile, but other than that, it's fine when you're running.
Okay, and Bill and Pat, we should also point out that it's not just men and women in this race, but you have a companion that you race with. Let's show the folks at home here. This is Sanders, the... Sanders is the, what? This is your running mate?
Yes, it's a Golden Retriever.
Golden Retriever running mate in all marathons. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. He looks in good shape, too. Chippewa Falls represented here. Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, Pure Water Days.
The Chamber of Commerce there says that Chippewa Falls has the purest, most natural water in the world. I bet it's all frozen this time of year.
Coming up next is one of the very, very large festivals and long-time festival. As you can see on the top of the float, it says Hopkins' 50th Raspberry Festival. That is midsummer, as a matter of fact, very close to the Minneapolis Aquatennial. We do a lot of festivals here, Meg.
It sounds like it. One big party after another.
That's right. That's the way we keep each other warm in the winter, and certainly we have lots of water sports in the summer.
Meg, let me take this opportunity to ask you, since you're from California, what was the weather like out there?
When I left?
When you left.
It was a chilly 69
Oh,
degrees.
my goodness, a chilly 69. Now, isn't this more fun?
Oh, this is fun. It is.
That's the spirit.
I left there last night, and yeah, it was about 69 is about what you had.
That's our winter weather.
St. Paul Central High School band approaching us. The band is under the direction of John P. Gregerson, drum majors Barb Doherty and Tom Green. The Silks captain, you see the Silks in front of them, is Mary Darling. So as they are just about now approaching the range of our microphones, let's hear what we can hear from the St. Paul Central High School band. Along with Meg Bennett of CBS, and we'll be back after this word.
Come back to Jamaica.
We will raft you into the sunset.
What's old is what's new.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We want you to join us.
We'll drench you with sunshine.
We made it for you.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again. And make it your own.
Make it Jamaica your new island home.
The look is lean and trim. The car is Cavalier. From today's Chevrolet. The well-honed power of a 2-liter electronically fuel-injected engine. The instinctive agility of front drive, Cavalier. It has the look and the performance for today's America. This is today's Chevrolet. It's fit.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
The Helping Hand is helping chicken.
Introducing new Chicken Helper in 4 delicious varieties, like mushroom chicken and rice. You get wild and long grain rice in a mushroom sauce and a golden glaze for your chicken. Just place your fresh chicken in our savory rice and mushroom mix and bake.
In one pan here, 1 hour's time, a real chicken dinner bakes up prime. The Helping Hand has Chicken Helper. E-I-E-I. Uh-oh.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
We are back with a bang. These riders represent Jesse and Frank James, Cole Younger and his brothers, and other members of the gang who unsuccessfully tried to rob the Northfield Bank back in 1876.
Right behind them, a brigadier general, the military grand marshal of the parade, U.S. Army Reserve Curtis D. Norenberg, who is a brigadier general. The defeat of Jesse James' days is what they call that now. They have changed it from previous days when it was thought that perhaps it was glorifying Jesse a little too much. So now they call it the defeat of Jesse James.
And here is the Powder Puff Clown Club. sponsored by the American National Bank of St. Paul. They've participated here in the Carnival parades for the past 17 years.
Yeah, we have. How do you like? Now, see, Meg, everything isn't lost. The California lifestyle is living there in the hot tub. It may not be quite as hot, but it's...
In the past year, this group of dedicated clowns has received 9 first-place trophies and appearances throughout the region. I mean, these are classy clowns, I guess you could call them. They also spend many hours visiting shut-ins. And we asked their coordinator, Colleen Charles, what their specialty was, and she said, why, don't you know? Just clowning around.
Oh, my goodness. They have an official unit here that provides their music and their... That young lady is on a speed run, they say. And here are our competitors, but our friends nevertheless, from Channel 5.
They're out for a winter hayride. Personalities from KSTP Television. Let's see, who do we see there? Looks like we've got Frank Somerville, Debbie Ingram, Dennis Bounds, Rob Bruce, Dave Dahl, Dave Andrews, Robin Hubner.
Not aboard the one you're looking at now, though.
Oh, not the one now, the one that just went by.
Because the one you're looking at now has that characteristic 4 on it, and it kind of is a dead giveaway as to what it is.
Looks familiar. Of course, those are the WCCO television celebrities right there. Who's on board here? Mark Watts, Al Austin. Where's Bud? There's Bud over there with the red scarf on.
There's Mike Fairborn right up front.
That's right. Hi. There's Lisa Nee from PM Magazine. There's Mark.
Mark Watts, right? And Bud is on the other side with his...
He's hiding from us.
Al Austin is on hand as well. All from the staff of our very own Channel 4. Now, can you think of a nicer, warmer, more pleasant way to spend a Saturday afternoon, Meg? Come on, tell the truth.
That's a very loaded question. I have to tell you, I can't think of a nicer way. I can think of a few warmer ways.
It's a good time to be had by all. We're going to take a quick break from here, and we'll be back at the Winter Carnival Parade in just a moment. Don't go away.
Into the sunset.
What's old is what's new.
We'll match you at cricket.
We want you to join us.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We made it for you.
We'll paint you a picture.
So make it Jamaica.
We'll dazzle you with turquoise.
Make it your own.
We will excite your imagination.
Make it Jamaica.
We will surprise you with Shakespeare.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again, and make it your own.
Make it Jamaica, your new island home.
If you're running out of ways to tell your boss the copier's broken, and you'd do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Every Panasonic copier, from our compact model to copiers that can grow into a complete system, are designed with advanced electronics to help prevent breakdowns. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
See famous figures skating in ice capades. Paul Martini and Barbara Underhill, world and 5-time Canadian champions, sensational skaters with incredible strength and beauty. Martini and Underhill, now in ice capades.
where famous figures skate.
Ice Capade starring 1984 World Pair champions Paul Martini and Barbara Underhill, February 6th through February 10th at the St. Paul Civic Center. Tickets on sale now at the Civic Center and all Dayton's outlets.
Pat Brown with Bill Carlson and Meg Bennett back here at the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, and marching by our booth is the Sports Shack Cracker Jack Novelty Band. They've just been performing for the crowd here during that commercial break to a rousing ovation, I'd say.
They kind of do things their own way. You can see American National Bank, but right in front of that American National Bank unit are two real reindeer. Now, these are reindeer from the Minnesota Zoo.
I never knew that's what reindeer looked like.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, reindeer, they love this kind of weather, of course.
Yeah.
They're the only deer, put this in your fact file, they're the only deer that have hair all the way across their nose, as you can see.
Ah.
They are prepared for the, see, that's the way you prepare.
That's the trick, I think.
That's it. That's how you handle it.
And here's the American National Bank float, characterized by its outdoor winter theme, and they've incorporated antique items on board that some of their employees have collected.
Whoa, look at him.
Oh, my goodness. What you hear is people remarking over there he is,
Yeah.
what's following that National Bank float.
A guy is high on his bicycle, so to speak.
Let's hope he doesn't fall. My
You
goodness.
see, he's got that cooling fan, too, in case he gets too warm up there.
They say heat rises, right? He's from the River City Rascals Winona Clown Club. From the deep south, southern Minnesota, that is, comes the River City Rascals. The
That's a
Winona Clown
snowblower, if you didn't recognize it. This thing on camera. See, he picks up a shovelful and then turns the crank. Yeah, that guy is causing...
A real daredevil, I'll tell you.
See, there, you pick up the snow and then
And you blow it off.
There you go.
Blows it all around. Very tasty.
Everybody wants to say hi to Mom, don't they?
Yes, every home needs one of those. Here's Pat's Ranchettes back here. This is Pat Brown's group. That it isn't your group, is
Not
it?
my group, Bill.
No. Okay.
Another Pat.
Pat Pierce, School of Dance and Stage Acts. They're strutting their stuff. This is a rhinestone cowboy kind of routine they're doing. Well, you can hear a little bit of sound in the background.
I think we ought to put them by the Shock Electronic Band. I think
That's what
make
they need, yes.
Yeah.
It appears somehow that a lot of the folks are kind of falling in with the parade. I think we're losing some of our audience here, people who are deciding to march right along. We do have an award winner. Oh, there's a community bath, too. We do have an award winner coming here. This float, the winner of the King Boreas Award.
Deservedly so. That's spectacular.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Reminds me of home. The old rose parade.
Right. Yeah, except instead of flowers, we have balloons, which handle this kind of weather just a touch better than the roses would. Yeah. A circus theme to this float. Future fantasy, it says.
Add a little splash of color to winter here.
Right, a number of young folks riding aboard the float.
You know, a lot of work has gone into putting these floats together. They go by in a couple minutes, and I think they deserve a lot of appreciation. Isn't that nice?
Well, that youngster thinks it's nice.
That's right. Here comes the winner of the Titan Award, rounding the bend here in Rice Park.
It is the City of Columbia Heights float. A number of members of royalty aboard that float, but when they get a little bit closer, in the car in front of them, the applause you may hear in the background is because Paul Giel, who is the sports grand marshal, is riding in that float with a big M for the University of Minnesota. Paul Giel, who was an All-American when he was here and then played professional baseball and for the last several years has been athletic director of the University of Minnesota.
Here's that float from Columbia Heights. They've sent their dignitaries and royalty in the form of Miss Columbia Heights Lori Mentz with Princesses Susan Petkoff, Kelly Corbett, and Becky Fellant.
Meg, have you ever ridden on a float?
Yes, when I was Northwestern's homecoming queen, I rode on
were
a
you?
float. I was thinking, I know I've done this somewhere. Where did it happen? Yes.
You were Northwestern. Northwestern University, of course, just a little bit. Evanston, Illinois, isn't it? Just north of Chicago.
And here come the Harding High School Marching Band under the direction of Mary Stedfield. It's a 70-member band from St. Paul's East Side. Why don't we give them a listen?
As has to be obvious to anyone who has ever played a trumpet or anything like that, playing a trumpet in this kind of temperature is a challenge. It takes a little.
Freeze your lips to the trumpet.
Yeah, they usually have mouthpieces made out of other materials and so forth. What do we have here?
Well, Roses in the Snow is the theme for this entry from Webster, Wisconsinville. White sparkling snowballs are mixed in with the rose clusters and bouquets you can see there, and seated on her throne is Queen Kristen Newer with Princesses Laurie Sears and Dana Daniels. And
We had volunteered Meg for what is coming up here.
Oh, we
but,
had.
Yeah, see, but we thought we should look at it first, Meg. Now just watch. It's a long way
now
up.
watch this.
They call it great for that.
The St. Paul Athletic Bouncing Team, and let me tell you from personal experience, 2 years ago, I left Bill in the broadcast booth, went down there and had them toss me up in the air, and it's an experience I'll never forget because I've not experienced in that, and it's a lot tougher than it looks. It's a lot of fun, but you can get hurt if you don't know what you're doing.
I'm sure of it.
Well, Pat has been the way she is ever since.
Oh, now, Bill, be nice, be nice. I'll tell you, I went up so high that when I came down, I got a little case of whiplash. But these girls, see, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, that, as a matter of fact, that frightened all of us a little bit that day because Pat seemed to be just fine for a little while, but then the world started to come in.
That's right, but I'm okay. I survived. And I'll tell you, these folks are a fine bunch of people.
Okay, they're going to do one more right in front of our eyes here. St. Paul Athletic Club.
I tell you, your heart is just beating a mile a minute when they do this.
She looks like hers is beating a mile a minute. She's done it before.
2. They've been doing that since the 1880s, so for over 100 years. I mean, not the same group of people, you understand, but...
You held up very well.
At first, they only did it with a man, but now, of course, they have the women do it, too. Let's see what Dale sees from up high in the sky.
You're on. Okay, Bill, right now we're looking at the greater downtown area here. We're going to give you a little shot. Harriet Island is, right now, they're trying to get the balloons launched for the Winter Carnival hot air balloon race. You can see down the river there, and the other side of the bridge, way out on Harriet Island, just a couple of them taking off now and getting ready for that big balloon race. We're going to kind of wrap it up here. Visibility is getting a little bit down, and of course the balloons are getting up, so we're going to go put this on the ground. Say good afternoon to everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the parade, and we'll be back again.
Hey, thank you very much, Dale. Thank you for being with us. Here's a 1905 steam pumper. Talk about going from a helicopter to a steam pumper. That's a change in transportation, isn't it? That actually did serve the city of St. Paul, as did the 1923 vehicle behind it. Now from St. Croix Falls comes another float.
Announcing the gateway to the Wild River. This float, sponsored by the St. Croix Falls Chamber of Commerce, depicts wildlife, flowers, and shrubbery. And that's not wildlife, flowers, and shrubbery there, but those are the folks from Hardware Hanks. Always a favorite, I think, in the parade.
Yes, they are. They're a strange-looking device because they extend way much higher than the individuals within them. As a matter of fact, give away a little secret. You see that window on the bib of the overalls in front? That's about where the face of the occupant.
Now, Bill, you're giving away their secret.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's just between Meg and me.
Oh, just between you and me. Oh, tell us so.
Oh.
You know, I wonder if that's hot air they have inside there. I bet they're nice and warm. Maybe we should do the parade from one of those next year. Oh, here, he's looking right in our broadcast. Hello. Nice to meet you.
And they're all named Hank. It makes it a lot easier. Oh, my. Let's see what we have here.
I think this is Chuck E. Cheese's contingent.
Curious color. Well, that is Chuck E. Cheese is a chain of a pizza place.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it, Bill.
And,
I just wanted to make sure you did.
There's a character, yeah.
That's right, mate. You keep him on his toes.
I couldn't think of the word, but it is. Pizza is the word.
These are the sweethearts of Minnesota pageants. We've got lots of beautiful young women on board. Teen Queen Rachel Nelson, Little Miss Queen Natasha Grodnowski, King Jason Jones, Petite Queen Lucy Olker, along with their state princesses and escorts. You know, this float was in more than 22 parades in Minnesota this summer. It's held up pretty well.
It has, and she'll have the young princesses. The kids just enjoy this so much, and it really is a very, very special experience for them. When do you head back to California for more of The Young and the Restless Men?
I think I'll be heading back tonight once we finish up today's
Oh, really?
festivities. Yes.
And then you start taping. Right in front of the Prescott High School band here, walking along in front of it, is our mayor of the city of St. Paul, Mayor George Latimer.
How y'all doing? Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Hello.
He's a man the city of St. Paul loves very much. He's been mayor for a number of years, and that kind of greeting he was extending to the folks is an example of the kind of friendliness and the feeling that he has for the citizens of the city of St. Paul.
You know,
he's very much a populist kind of mayor.
He sure is. St. Paul's biggest fan, I'd say. Here we're looking at the Prescott, Wisconsin High School band, and something interesting to note is that 1/3 of the entire school is in the band.
I wonder who's tending the books today.
They were the champion band here in the St. Paul Winter Carnival parades in 70, 76, 77, 82, and 83. So let's see if they can do it again this year. Here they come.
Let's see if we can figure out where these horses come from. The Baytown Belgian, sponsored by Cub Foods, it says. This was not a scheduled, in our schedule at least, but they are beautiful Belgian horses. What was scheduled and is here is a float sponsored by the Salvation Army. Serving people 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, it says along the side. And anyone who has ever had any contact with the Salvation Army knows that that indeed is true. Sharing and caring, and they have been a part not only, as a matter of fact, they're a part of your Pasadena Rose Parade, too. The Salvation Army is always as a present.
Here, I believe, we have some members of the Western Saddle Clubs Association trotting on down the street here around Rice Park. I believe that is their current queen, Maren Steinke. And here's the West End Business and Professional Association unit, pulled again by some gorgeous horses. Now, kings and queens have their reins, but in this case, you can see the reins are in the hands of driver Sherman Link, who is guiding this team of Belgian draft horses.
Careful about those puns, Pat. We only allow 3 per broadcast.
Three per broadcast, okay.
Up to your quote.
I've got 2 more to come. A winner of the Vulcan Award.
Oh, this is a pretty one.
Isn't this nice?
the way those cars are decorated, the golden floats.
Right.
They look like spaceships.
And now this float represents the Durand Commercial Club and the city of Durand. Regal purple, of course, sponsored by the Commercial Club.
Durand, Wisconsin, just across the river from us. Of course, many Wisconsin communities very, very close to our hearts and very much involved with us because almost a part of the metropolitan area, Wisconsin being only about, I guess, about 15 miles from where we are. Well, we're going to be back. There's still more units to go, so don't go away. We'll be back after this message.
Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups. It's real fruit and fun rolled up in one.
I want to peel 'em when I'm sunning. Fruit Corners. I want to wave 'em when I'm funning. Fruit Corners. I want to dare 'em when I'm teasing. Fruit Corners. I want to share 'em when I'm pleasing. Fruit Roll-Ups.
It's the chewy snack made from real fruit. Fruit Corners Fruit Roll-Ups.
I want real fruit and fun rolled up in one.
Fruit Roll-Ups. If it comes from Fruit Corners, it's made from real fruit.
Looks like you're into winning.
You bet.
Then today Chevrolet has a car for you. Cavalier.
Come on in, and you'll know. Turn it on, let it go. It's at your command.
2 liters of electronically fuel-injected power, front drive agility, and optional sports suspension. Cavalier. Grab one.
If this is today's Chevrolet, it's a winner.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Here's another thing, Meg Ben.
Fire department. Here they are with their authentic 1892 steam pumper, 1879 hand pumper, and an 1892 hook and ladder and hose cart. One right after the other. You suppose that really did any good back then? I guess it did.
Oh, well, I'm sure it did, yeah. Made you feel better anyway when you were out trying to... that hand pumper, that's 1879. That first hand pumper there is 106 years old. How about that? Sure, yeah, they did well. Obviously not as well as the fire departments today, but certainly that's what you had to work with in those days. Wonderful to have things like this kept for us and kept in this kind of condition so we understand how technology has changed. Boy, he's got a full head of steam up there, doesn't he?
I'd say so.
Do you think in 100 years they'll have our fire engines of today in a parade?
Could be.
They probably will.
Do you think they'll have parades in 100 years?
This is the Broadway pageant's production of Minnesota. They sponsor this dazzling entry representing the gold and glitter of the Entertainment Center in New York.
Broadway and 42nd Street, that sign says up front.
Now, riding on this entry are Kelly Brozier, Broadway Miss Petite, Shalise Radelin, Broadway Young Miss, and Laura Buckhart, Miss Broadway.
Now, you mentioned, Pat, that the hardware hanks are popular. I remember from my childhood, way back around the turn of the century,
Way back when, huh, Bill?
that these Hilux gnomes have always been a part of the St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade ever since I can... during one parade, they're gnomes. During one parade, I called them the Hilux drips, and I was very, very severely reprimanded because they look like little driplets, don't they?
They do.
But they are gnomes, so don't forget it. Here's Miss Minnesota State Employment, it looks, Judy Caston. And see, they always have those sweepers, Meg, wherever they have a lot of horses. It's just a handy device to have around.
Yes, I bet it is.
From Chetek, Wisconsin, I believe. Yes, here we are from Chetek, Wisconsin, the Chetek High School Bulldogs. This group is a big group, and they've been with us before, several times, as I recall.
In fact, they were first-place winners in last year's St. Paul Winter Carnival Band competition.
It looks like those girls only have blouses on, but believe me, they are well-dressed underneath that.
They better be, yes.
Let's listen. The Chautauqua, Wisconsin Bulldogs.
President's Award winner, the Spring Lake Park Tower Days Community Celebration Float. Now, this float has appeared in both Aquatennial parades as well as 34 other parades in Minnesota and Wisconsin. And if you didn't know it, their celebration is held the second weekend in June. And their tower there is painted red, white, and blue, just like the float.
Behind Tower Days from St. Thomas Academy, the Honor Guard, 34 students strong. And behind that Honor Guard, they're wearing the uniforms of the Military Academy, of course. Behind the Honor Guard, aboard one of those half buses we were talking about, is the St. Thomas Academy Jazz Band. This is the Minnesota Boat Club moving by, and before we miss anything, because we don't want to do that, of course, they're going to go down on the Mississippi, but we're going to go to this commercial break. We'll be right back.
The look is lean and trim. The car is cavalier. From today's Chevrolet. The well-honed power of a 2-liter electronically fuel-injected engine. The instinctive agility of front drive, Cavalier. It has the look and the performance for today's America. This is today's Chevrolet. It's fit.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
It's amazing how you feel each and every time you taste Yoplait, the yogurt of France. You can't resist Yoplait's creamy smoothness.
What am I to do?
The real fruit mixed all through. The taste is truly extraordinary.
I can't help it.
Get a little taste of Yoplait, the yogurt of France.
Falling in love again.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
Hi, Doll. Easy for typing that report. Again.
Miss Smith, please type in one itsy bitsy change, please.
No matter what type of boss you have, with a Panasonic 708 electronic typewriter, you won't have to retype. Its 8K memory stores what you've typed. Type in the corrections, and it does the retyping for you. So when your boss requests the word,
Where's that?
Letter.
Thank you.
it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
Back here at the 99th St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, this is Pat Brown with Bill Carlson and Meg Bennett from The Young and the Restless.
There are our sister station, W Light, and all of those folks enjoying the Winter Carnival Parade. FM 103. That is W Light, and of course they are the sister station of WCCO AM and TV.
And right behind them are the good folks from WDGY. 1130 on the FM dial.
That's the WGY 1130 on the FM dial. Right.
Somebody.
Now here, marching 50 strong, we have this next unit, a partnership in labor and the United Way. They represent more than the 2,000 volunteers who annually devote time to seeing that the 65 St. Paul agencies maintain services for the St. Paul area.
Of course, they're all carrying banners representing their particular involvement. Local 12 of the Office and Professional Employees International Union making their presence known and marching in another group. There are several different unions represented here. IBEW, Local 110. They are electrical workers and indeed broadcast employees as well.
That's right.
Followed by AFSCME, which of course are government workers, American Federation of, let me see, I can't remember the rest of it, the community services is their involvement for the most part. Carpenters Local 87 behind them, building St. Paul for over 100 years. How about that?
There's a personal message for someone watching, we hope.
Get well, George Lamson. That's the gentleman who, George Lamson, was, of course, in the terribly tragic crash in Reno, Nevada. One of the 3 survivors. George Lamson and George Lamson Jr., both survivors, incidentally. The UAW, United Auto Workers, Local 879.
And the Minnesota State Conference of Painters and Allied Trades.
I think this is as large a representation of unions as I've ever seen in either this parade or the Aquatennial Parade.
I agree with you, Bill. I don't remember this a couple of years ago.
Meg, to an outsider, it may seem a little unusual for us to constantly, yes, do wave, to be constantly mentioning the Aquatennial, but it is a team. The Twin Cities indeed are twins, and both of us from both cities participate in both festivals. The Winter Carnival in St. Paul in the winter, the Aquatennial in Minneapolis in the summer. All those folks that you see down around trying to make their way around the corner because they're all nailed down to the same long board there. So making a corner is a little more difficult than the straightaway.
They're the only group in the parade that literally cannot get out of step.
That's right.
It's the Ascoff Precision Marching Unit. They're from Ringer's Bar in Ascoff.
Meg, I know in show business they say break a leg. Well, this is what they're talking about.
I want you to know that these guys traveled all the way from Duluth. I hope not this way.
Walking this way?
No, not this way. Captain George Noss leads the pack of marchers and clowns. And I want to tell you that these wild and crazy guys have really big hearts. In fact, they've donated any cash winnings to Camp Courage for disabled children. Way to go, guys.
They've worn out 6 2x4s, I understand. See, they are prepared for something, too. See, just in case on the behind there.
Looks like somebody already bit the dust there.
Or something. Well, as we draw close to the end of our parade today, City of Blaine is represented by a beautiful and large float. Once again, the theme is red, white, and blue. The royal family from Blaine, Miss Blaine is Shelley Sen, Princesses Sheila Ranum, Michelle Brando, and Pam Spaeth. Junior ambassadors are aboard. There is an entire royal family indeed.
And of course, on that float, they're depicting the fireworks that you'll see at their blazing 4th of July celebration. And right behind the City of Blaine float, we see the Red Wing royalty riding in this 1930 Model A Roadster. Our Red Wings River City Days 1984 royalty. Miss Red Wing, Lori Meyer, and her princesses, Jane Nadeau and Candy Henderson.
Now there's a car.
That's a 1954 Jaguar Mark V. And the fellow aboard is Rocky Rococo. Look at that. He symbolizes another pizza chain we were talking about before. Now, Valley Fair, just following him and all these characters, is a very large amusement park just to the south of the Twin Cities, south and west of the Twin City area. Not open this time of year, but a favorite place for many of the youngsters of our area during the summer season. Following it, the Wild Bunch. I don't know where the Wild Bunch is from, and apparently neither does anyone else.
We don't ask.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
These guys.
Yeah, that's another way to... I tell you what, if those horses decide to go different directions, those gentlemen are going to have an interesting balancing act.
In a lot of trouble, yeah.
And as you can see, things are pretty much winding down here. We're going to take a break and be back to just pack things up.
Come back to Jamaica.
Come run on a ribbon of white sand.
What's old is what's new.
Come ride our gentle trade winds.
We want you to join us.
Come daydream in a private cove.
We made it for you.
Come share the incomparable variety that brought Noel Coward home to Jamaica year after year. Come, make it Jamaica again and again.
Make it Jamaica, Jamaica again.
You're the worst pitcher in the history of baseball. I'm too tired to be inspired. That's because you didn't have a good breakfast like I did. A Cheerios breakfast.
When you fuel up with a nutritious breakfast like this one with tasty low-sugar Cheerios, those also help keep you on your toes.
Thank you, Lucy.
Right.
All I ever needed was...
I like small cars.
We need more room.
Today, Chevrolet has a car for you, the midsize Celebrity.
Feel the room. Ride in style. Go in comfort every mile.
Enjoy midsize room with economy and a price that's surprisingly small. Celebrity.
Lots of stuff here. If this is today's Chevrolet, I like it.
And we need it.
Ride today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy.
Live it.
Chevy.
Well, the parade has ended, at least from this location, and although thousands of people marched in the parade today, about 1,500 ran, some 26, some 13. Ralph John Fritz is on hand at the finish line to tell us how things are going. Ralph?
Bill, I fed you. I was a bundle of misinformation earlier. I told you about half of the runners went the halfway point. That was actually about 1,200, and about 215 or so went the 26 miles. And here's the winner, Tom Eisenrich of Plymouth. And Tom, you had a little problem about 2 miles from the finish. Well, races don't really plan on winning; they just want to finish. How about you when you came in here?
I wanted to do well. You know, I'm not a super fast runner, but I'm a tough runner.
Well, I guess you are, and you did very well. Your time, I think, was, what, 2:33 or thereabouts?
Yeah, I think it was right in there.
We don't have that official yet, but that's pretty close, and it was better than last year. We congratulate you. I know you want to get inside. Again, congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Tom Eisenrich, the winner from Plymouth. And that's it from here, Bill and Pat, so back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ralph John. There's a reason they call that the torturous 26.
That's for sure, and our congratulations to Tom as well. You know, along with the Winter Carnival parades comes, of course, dozens of fun-filled activities. Let's take a look now at a calendar of events of some of those things in store waiting to join in all the fun.
Felines from household pets to purebred will be competing in the St. Louis City Cat Show today and tomorrow at the St. Paul Exhibition Hall. The Roseville Figure Skating Club will present a figure skating exhibition on Sunday, February 3rd at the Roseville Ice Arena. Watch the best amateur talent at the Winter Carnival's Amateur Talent Contest Finals, Monday night, January 28th, 7 p.m. at the Prom Center. Come hear some of the best fiddlers in the country at the Winter Carnival Fiddle Contest, Sunday, February 3rd at Anglin's Warehouse. Delight in the sounds of jazz at the Landmark Center starting Thursday, January 31st. This is the first of a 6-concert series. Partake in the fun of the Farm, Food, and Craft Fair at the Market House in Lowertown, January 26th and 27th. Get a refreshing taste of the South at the Hispanic Winter Fiesta held at the Landmark Center Friday, February 1st. The St. Paul Civic Center Fun Fair will include everything from a children's playland and giant slide to an indoor midway and live concerts January 31st through February 3rd. The mixed Bonspiel curling competition will be held at the St. Paul Curling Club on January 25th through 27th. The Ringette Tournament will be held February 1st through 3rd at the West St. Paul Arena. This year, there will be 3 ice skating rinks open during Winter Carnival: the rink at King's Courtyard in Rice Park, the rink at Mears Park Sculpture Garden, and the rink at Capitol Mall. For more information on any of the Winter Carnival activities, call The Connection at 922-9000.
Oh, there's something for everybody.
As you see, though, the Carnival Parade, the Grand Day Parade, is ended. The Carnival has just begun, and we're going to be back here at the Grand Day Parade location in just a moment.
Come back to Jamaica.
We will raft you into the sunset.
What's old is what's new.
We'll intoxicate you with hibiscus.
We want you to join us.
We'll drench you with sunshine.
We made it for you.
Come back to the way things used to be. Make it Jamaica again. And make it your own.
Make it Jamaica your new island home.
Morning paper. Great news about a health plan for people with Medicare. Now, Share Senior Care is free to new members. The full protection of Share Senior Care is free to new members till 1986. Share, Minnesota's most experienced HMO for seniors, made senior care free so more seniors will join. That lowers individual health costs. Call now about free Share Senior Care.
Shall we?
Yeah, we should.
There's so much more to share.
America is coming home. America is coming home. America is coming home to the good taste of butter.
Nothing has the pure, natural taste of real butter. You know butter makes good food taste better.
America is coming home to the good taste.
It's good to be home. If you're running out of ways to tell your boss the copier's broken and would do anything to avoid facing him, tell your boss about Panasonic copiers. Our compact copiers have advanced electronics to help prevent breakdowns. The magnifying toning process makes great copies, great reductions, too. So tell your boss it's time for a Panasonic.
CDP means Office Systems.
Well, here we are back in front of the Ordway Music Theater, the brand new, beautiful Ordway Music Theater in downtown St. Paul, which was kind of a central location for the parade today, because since it did curve around 3 sides.
There you see some of the ice sculpture there in front of us. I can't think of a more appropriate place to broadcast our parade from this year.
Meg, did you get a chance to go over and take a look at any of those ice sculptures?
Yes, they're really fantastic looking. I didn't stay terribly long because I was about to turn into an ice sculpture myself, but they're wonderful.
They really are, and the people have been working very hard. As a matter of fact, a little earlier on today, it sounded almost like a lumberjack convention here because people were doing some of the basic carving with chainsaws.
Oh, is that what that was?
Sure,
Yes.
yeah, that's how they get, you know,
the basic shape.
What they
Right.
do is they take a huge piece of ice and they saw away everything that doesn't look like a reindeer. You know, you wind up with a reindeer. And that's the way it is. And, of course, there will be a great deal of judging done later on. The Meg, for any of you who joined us late, the Meg we are talking to is Meg Bennett of The Young and the Restless, the CBS show that just precedes us on the Noon Report each day on Channel 4. And she's been joining us for the Winter Carnival Parade. Just a little touch of shock coming from California.
It is a little bit of a shock, I will admit that.
Meg, maybe you can give us a preview of what to expect coming up on The Young and the Restless?
Oh, and the intrigue gets thicker. You know, what else can I tell you?
Okay.
That sums it up.
Thick intrigue on Young and the Restless at CCO. We are very pleased that you saw fit to join us today for our broadcast of the Winter Carnival Grand Day Parade.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
And Bill, once again, a pleasure always to work with you.
It has been fun. So on behalf of Pat Brown, Bill Carlson, and Meg Bennett, thank you for joining us, and do participate in the rest of that big Winter Carnival.
Have fun, everyone.
The St. Paul Winter Carnival Parade, Wintertainment 85, has been brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to see today's Chevy, drive today's Chevy, live today's Chevy. And by Share Senior Care, Minnesota's most experienced HMO health plan for seniors. And by the Jamaica Tourist Board, who invite you to make it Jamaica again. And by Copy Duplicating Products. CDP means office automation. And by the many fine products of General Mills. Thank you for joining us. Bill Carlson's code provided by Eddie Bauer Incorporated. Pat Brown's code provided by Schlamps.